windshield would have done wrecked a long time ago. Thank God for the lighthouse. I'm gonna do a song tonight. I guess you can call it a song. I do it once a year, and it's Christmas time when I do it. It's called John 3:16 is the name of the song. I'm glad for John 3:16. Glad God loved us so much that He gave His only Son, that we may go free. If we could just only believe in Him. Said, whoever believes in me shall not perish, but have eternal life. I hope I don't lose my voice tonight. Darla hopes I do, usually. She usually hopes I do. But
get them through the service.
in the city of Chicago, one cold dark night, a blizzard was setting in. A little boy was selling newspapers on the corner. The people were in and out of the cold. The little boy was so cold he wasn't trying to sell many newspapers. Then he walked up to the policeman and said, "Mister, you wouldn't happen to know where a poor boy could find a warm place to sleep tonight, would you? You see, I sleep in a box up around the corner there and down the alley, and it's awful cold in there for tonight. Sure would be nice to have a warm place to stay." The policeman looked down at the little boy and he said, "You go down the street to that big old white house and you knock on the door. When they come out of the door, you just say, John 3:16, and they'll let you in." So he did. He walked up the steps and he knocked on the door. And the lady answered. She looked up and said, John 3:16. The lady said, "Come on in, son." She took him and she set him down in a split-bottom rocker in front of a great big old fireplace. She went off. The boy sat there for a while, and he thought to himself, John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it makes this cold boy warm. Later she came back and she asked him, "Are you hungry?" He said, "Well, just a little. I haven't eaten in a couple of days, and I guess I can stand a little food." The lady took him into the kitchen and set him down to a table full of wonderful food. He ate until he couldn't eat anymore. Then he thought to himself, John 3:16. Boy, I sure don't understand it, but it sure makes a hungry boy full. She took him upstairs to a bedroom. It had a big old bathtub in it filled with warm water. He sat there and he soaked for a while, and as he soaked, he thought to himself, John 3:16, I sure don't understand it, but it sure makes a dirty boy clean. You know, I've had a bath and a real bath in my whole life. The only bath I ever had was when I stood in front of that big old fire hydrant as they flushed it out. The lady came in and got him. She took him to her room, took him into a big old feather bed, pulled the covers up around his neck, kissed him good night and turned out the lights. As he lay in the darkness, looked out the window at the snow coming down on a cold night, he thought to himself, John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it sure makes a tired boy rested, he said. The next morning, the lady came back up and took him down again to that same big old table full of food. After he ate, she took him back to that same big old split-bottom rocker in front of the fireplace, picked up a big old Bible. She set him down in front of him and said, looked in his face. Said, son, do you understand John 3:16? She asked him gently. He replied, no ma'am, I don't. The first time I ever heard it was last night when the policeman told me to use it. She opened the Bible to John 3:6 and began to explain it to him about Jesus. Right there in front of that big old fireplace, he gave his heart and his life to Jesus. He sat there and he thought, John 3:16. I don't understand it, but sure makes a lost boy feel safe. Said, you know, I have to confess, I don't understand it either, how God was willing to send his son to die for me, and how Jesus would agree to do such a thing. I don't understand the agony of the Father and every angel in heaven as they watched Jesus suffer and die. I don't understand the intense love for me that kept Jesus on the cross till the end. I don't understand it, but it sure makes life worth living. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, whosoever should believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16.